What's up, guys? Let's see. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? And where are you from? Hopefully, we still have some people from Europe that stayed up late. I'm in Poland right now. It's 8 p.m. So let's see. We got New York, California, Arizona, Fullerton. Let's go. Brazil, Boa noite. A lot of people don't know this. I played a year in Brazil. This year, I have a Brazilian teammate, and maybe you guys might be the first people to know this. I might do. The plan is to go to Brazil this year to film some courses, maybe with Sergio too. So this is pretty exciting for me. Uh, Oregon. Oh, what's up, Colton? Can you guys hear me? Is it a good level? This mic, I get so anxious around. I don't know what it is. Um, this is awesome. So cool. While we wait for people to come in, um, we still have some time. Let's see. I got some polls. Let's see what your relationship with scoop defense is right now. So the same way we started the webinar with the split step, what is your relationship with scoop defense? If you guys go to the right, you can see the poll. You guys should be able to see the answers as well. I love this because I've been there. All you guys are right now, wherever you are, I've been there as well. So I've never heard about it. Great. There's a lot of people that haven't heard about it. That's awesome. We're gonna get a lot of work today. Tried it, but it feels weird. Okay. I feel like it'll be called a lift. Oh, that's funny. So I did a lot of girls clinics this summer, and we're gonna talk about something today called the open hand defense and pursuing the ball and like cuffing it, kind of like spiking it, right? But it was so funny. Before I did my first clinic, I had a friend. I was like, just watch. Everyone's gonna ask you um, that it's gonna be a lift, and they're not gonna want to do it. And every clinic I did, the girls are like, "Is that a lift?" I'm like, "Nah, actually, it's not. Just have to do it the right way." So let's see. Um, so lowest is I feel will be called as a lift. Tried it, but it feels weird. 12%. I've never heard about it. 16%. I've never had someone coach me. 33%. I'm using it, but it can feel better. That's awesome. The biggest one. Wow, that's great that you guys are learning it. You know what's been really cool is NCAA athletes are doing it. I've been told very often that okay, for guys it's fine. Hey, for pros it's fine. But you know what? For girls, I don't know. Zoe's doing it. Lexi's doing it. I saw the Nebraska the other day. The Nebraska setter the other day used it as well. So it's coming along. The big schools are slowly teaching it, and I'll show you today. We're gonna have so much video. Fortunately, I'm gonna be up late tonight. We have so much video we're gonna crush. So I'm excited. Let's see if we can get going. Guys, use the chat all throughout. If I don't, I'm still getting used to this program Demio. If I don't answer your question in the beginning, please make sure to repeat it at the end, because the goal for me, I want you to leave with as much clarity and confidence possible on these concepts. We're not going to go too deep in how to train it. I'm going to save that for next week for the masterclass. But today, we're going to get as clear as possible of the principles, the concepts, giving some great examples of pros, of college men, college women athletes using these in games and how we've trained it. So, pretty cool. Nate just said, I use scoop defense while playing beach, but at indoor, haven't seen it used as much. You know what? Beach is really interesting. I feel like everything happens first on the beach and defense because there's just so much court you have to take. And because of that, you have to be so much more creative in stealing time and being more efficient, right? So I think we see a lot of things on beach happen first before indoor. And Theo, with a great question. This will be inside the academy. So everyone that's already in the Libero Academy, if you need to leave early, go for it. There's still going to be some great opportunities to ask me questions. Mason Briggs will be here too. I don't know how many people know that. We agreed in the last couple of days that Mason's going to come. Mason's a great kid, great athlete. I wouldn't even say great future. He's already doing big things with Team USA. So he's going to come in and talk to you guys as well. So definitely stay for that. And then a couple handouts tonight, a couple cool handouts tonight for everyone that stays until the end. So let's get going. Let me see. Still quite new to this, but you know what? We're going to figure it out. And I'm going to bring this on my other screen. Oh, PowerPoints is just really not my thing, but you know what? That's how we're going to learn. It's the best way to learn today. So let's do it. Let's see how quickly I can put this up. Big screen. There we go. A couple other questions. Let's see. Just wondering how long do you think this meeting will last for? Oof, I don't know. I put together, let's see how many slides. 89 slides. Oof. Yeah, I worked pretty hard on this throughout the week. So we're going to put in some work today, right? So my guess would be an hour and a half, but I'll probably stay for 2 hours answering questions. So maybe an hour for the whole thing, but I'll probably stay 2 hours for you guys. So let's do this. Today's a day where you're going to gain more confidence on professional defensive concepts, things I just freaking would have dreamed I knew when I was in high school. And the goal is, right, to expand our defensive range and dig more balls. For those kids in high school, I'm working with a couple of high school kids right now, right? What's the way to separate yourself from other athletes? Digging balls in the midline, that's not going to be it, right? Pursuing balls, scooping balls, open hand digging balls. This is the way, right? This is the way we are going to show our value. For college athletes looking to get accolades, looking to help your team win, ball doesn't touch the floor, your team's more likely to get the point. And then for professional athletes too, and moving up the system, you know, you have to be arguably the best player in your league to move up. That's the only way. So cool. For those that don't know, for sure there's some people that don't really know who I am. Maybe they found this link through Noisy Buckets. So let me introduce myself. My name is Dustin Wan. I'm kind of getting chilled actually looking at myself in the picture. It's crazy to believe that I've been able to compete with the national team, but I'm still playing pro. We just had a game last night. We lost. We got reverse swept at home. Really, really, really not a fun feeling. But I'm still playing pro, still dealing with the difficult emotions, competing, training, and trying to improve. I love it, right? This is my 13th year as a professional libero. Blows my mind. 13th year. The goal was only to play 2 years. I was fortunate enough to be on the World Cup team for Team USA. I believe that was the last gold medal the team has won. Creator of Noisy Buckets, creator of the Libero Academy. Most people know all about it here. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more about that today. Then All-American at Long Beach State. I was also Dustin Wan, where my first club team got last at nationals. I was not selected for the youth national team. I wasn't selected for the junior national team. Back when I was with the national team, I was one of 2 players that didn't go through the pipeline. There was only 2 of us that didn't go through the youth pipeline and ended up on the national team. I wasn't even selected to train with the youth or junior national team to make that final cut. Wasn't selected on the Fat 50. I was a walk-on at Long Beach State. I was a red shirt at Long Beach State. And my first full season as a starter was my 4th out of 5 years at Long Beach State. So it took me a while. And so just a thought, I would love for you guys to share in the comments, where are you right now in your journey, right? You can see the first photo. This is when I was playing with my dad, playing beach volleyball. That second photo was my junior year of high school. And that last photo at World Championships with Team USA. So where are you right now in your journey? Are you in high school? Are you in college? I know last time we had a lot of coaches. I think it's great. You know, I think it takes a lot of character to be a coach and to commit your time to learn more. Because by doing this, you're investing in your athletes, right? And that's just something I just freaking love so much. Coaches that are investing in their athletes by investing in themselves. So let's see, coach, second year in college, sophomore, high school, senior, love it. Post high school gap year, love it. Eighth grade playing up high school, let's go. So a lot of college, a lot of high school, man, I love it. Um, if I could, when I was younger, I would have done these things. I didn't have access, so I just played beach, right? I just played beach as much as I could. Hit the ball off the wall, hit the ball off the roof. I didn't know any better. Um, so I love you guys. Appreciate it. So as I mentioned, stay to the end. Got a bonus and tasty little discount for everyone that stays to the end, but some cool video bonuses as well for you guys to watch that not many people have seen. That I think is going to bring a lot of value to your journey. So just a little recap. Last week for the masterclass, and let me get really clear. We've been doing these free webinars because I want to throw out this information. I want to help athletes that are ready to put in the work, to invest, to be disciplined. It's a Sunday. You guys could be doing anything, but you're here with me learning. So we've been doing these free webinars, right? To introduce you to these concepts, to these principles of how I'm working and what I've learned throughout my career, a lot through failing, right? And then the week after, the masterclass for everyone inside the Libero Academy. So the last webinar, for example, we talked a lot about the split step examples where people get it wrong. We'll see right here, right? Where people get it wrong, where they kind of goof. I see this a lot in college. These split steps, the assumption steps, the unconscious split, the negative steps, right? And for the webinars, it's just getting really clear with you going forward and giving you an actionable takeaway. This is what we're going to do going forward, right? We're going to help you train. So every webinar, I'm going to give you anywhere from 2 to 4 drills. Next week, it's going to be 4 drills for train reaction time, train scooping, and train the Mason dig. And then also on the webinars is bringing footage from games to show exactly how it's done and how you can benefit from using these drills, right? So many of you have written me on Instagram in one form or another. And a lot of the feedback is, I freaking love volleyball, but I just don't know what to do. What do I do? What's the drills? What's the techniques? What's the concepts? What should I focus on? Hey, I have a coach that's a middle blocker. He's a great coach, but he can't really teach me how to be a libero, and it's frustrating. Maybe you have a coach as a setter. Probably the best thing ever for the setter, but for you, you're probably not getting that next level advice and coaching. And so with the webinars, it's to bring you inside the classroom and to show you exactly how I work, how I train as a 13-year professional, so you can train the same. And you don't have to wait until you're bald, right? You can get going on this stuff now rather than later. And from there, the marginal gains, right? Boom, 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 boom. Instead of 1% better every day, maybe 2, 3%. And you do that consistently, wow, things are going to get great. So like I mentioned, the last masterclass, the first masterclass was on the split step, how to train it. This video in particular, timing. And this masterclass is up on the Libero Academy. So you can see all these drills, you can get to work, no excuses, right? That's the goal of the community. I don't want any athletes to have any excuses. Hey, I'm from Montana. We don't have boys volleyball. Hey, I'm from West Virginia. My coach is this or that. No excuses, right? If you're a part of the community, you have no excuse. You're all in. You know exactly what to do. You're going to understand the concepts. You're going to understand the principles. You're going to have the drills, and you're also going to have a connection to me where I can give you feedback during the masterclass, right? And so kind of like last week, we're going to show some of the best liberos in the nation using these principles and concepts and doing it at a very high level, being able to break them down rather than just seeing, oh, Lexi Rodriguez, she's so good. She's so talented. She played for such a great youth club. Well, it's not possible for me. Yeah, it's possible. We're going to break down the concepts so you can have clarity. And then for you to improve, it goes up to you. You have to take responsibility And speaking about Libero Academy, when you invest, you're more likely to put in the work. More likely to put in the work, more marginal gains, accomplish your goals a lot faster, right? So the agenda, let's go. Let's freaking go. LFG, baby. Unconscious moves, expanding our defensive reach, scoop defense, Mason dig. We're going to get that Mason call soon. And then digging with an open hand. Digging with an open hand is something that is so interesting. I only learned this 2 years ago at 33. Crazy, right? I'm learning things at 33 that I wish I would have known at 15, 16, for sure at 31, right? So the first thing, early platform, right? How many people have heard this? Please put me in the chat. How many people have heard early platform, passing, digging? Tell me, what do you think? What do you guys think this means? Because I say this, I try to say this without being arrogant. What does this mean? Early platform. Please tell me. What do you think this means, and what is the benefit? So let's see. What is the benefit when coaches say this? Because what I've learned in my career is I just believe coaches repeat things, right? I would probably be guilty of this if I coach. Actually, I have coached and I've been guilty of it, right? For blocking, low and over, right? Talking to Taylor Averill on the blocking course. Hey, sometimes you don't want to go low and over. Oh, that's interesting. High and hard, swinging, right? Working with Tyler Hildebrand, who used to coach at Nebraska, now is a Long Beach State coach. He says, no, not high and hard, high and fast, because he truly understands it. I'm just repeating things I've heard from great coaches, right? But I don't really understand it. So let's see some of the comments. Tracking the ball early and develop your platform early. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. So Sawyer, why do you think that is beneficial, right? Because here we go. So tracking the ball early and develop your platform early. On a float serve, the first line you see, right? I see the ball come off his hands. On a float serve, is that where the ball is going to end up? If I see it start on my left side, can I be 100% sure on a float serve that the ball will stay on my left side? No, right? Even on a jump serve, I play against a lot of servers that hit the ball so freaking hard or so precise that the line doesn't stay the same. Some, it's like straight, right? Straight, easy. I can just put my arms out, fall back, easy. There's a lot that spin. Last night I played a guy like this, and there's one that some that floats, right? So I have that early platform and I commit to it, and the ball ends up here. Well, I'm done, right? This will actually be one of the things we'll talk about, I think, in the 4th masterclass: independent arms in reception and emergency moves on float serves, right? Not to get into a rant, but everyone's told me, like, just hold your platform, right? Hold your platform, let the angle do the work. Well, I've done that, and a lot of times it ends up with me shanking the ball. And so there's a lot of different things we can do to get ourselves out of it. When we track it wrong, when the serve's good, the ball hits the tape and moves, right? Because the initial line we see is rarely the one that we actually pass. So love that. And then just as before we get in here, I want to add one more poll. I really like these classes because I really want to understand where I can be of value to you guys. So why aren't you improving, right? For myself, you know what? Why aren't I improving? I think right now I could be better on defense. I need to watch more film. That's something I can do better. I watch a lot of film on servers, and that's going to be the next masterclass. We're going to break down servers. I think Zoe Fleck will come in and help us as well. Studying servers in this overarching concept of time. How can we get more time from the servers so we can get the ball in the sweet spot? So myself, why am I not improving? I can get more reps on defense on my own time and watch more film of the opposing hitters. This is something I can do 100%. So what are some of the things that you guys believe that are holding you back right now? Not on the first team, right? This is something that's true. If you're not on the first team, you're not getting first team reps, right? If you're on the second team, the B team, the Balboa Bay purple team, you're not getting as good of reps as the guy on the 16s ones team. Not being a starter, you're just not playing as much, right? Probably not working with the top other 5 players. Coach played a different position than me. Got a late start, missed out on fundamentals. I probably could have phrased these a little better because I got a light start on fundamentals and I wish I had more technical clarity, or pretty much the same, right? So we'll speak about this as well, but once I started writing the passing and digging course, I wrote on a lot of stuff I knew, but as I was writing, I was like, wait, I was watching these other liberos do these things. I was like, oh, I've never actually thought about what other receivers are doing on high balls. High jumpsters I struggled with a lot because I did these old USA volleyball things like hold the platform, and I had bust open the arms. New platform came because of the blowback. So things like this I started to learn at like 32. I started to get more clarity, and it was amazing. So the technical clarity, I'm there with you guys. Let's see. Sorry, I'm going to check in once in a while for Mason. I think he'll come in about 20 minutes. So I'm pretty freaking fired up for that. He's going to have some good stuff for us. So let's get into it. Scoop, analysis by paralysis. Because you know what? When we see or hear scoop defense, this is probably what we see or think of. Just these freaking amazing plays. Bombs, right? And you're like, I'm playing 15s, I'm playing 16s. I am a girl. I'm not facing attackers like this. Like, that's not me, right? So a lot of times we have this analysis by paralysis. Like, I'm not playing at the highest level, so like no, like this is way too much. And you just imagine yourself goofing, kind of same with the split step, right? And yeah, you're gonna goof the split step when you first start learning it, mostly because you probably don't understand to train it. When I first started training the split step, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was 32 years old, and I goofed and I struggled for about a year, right? My one-on-one athletes that I work with right now in high school, somewhere in college, like they're picking it up within a month, right? For more clarity. From more clarity comes more confidence, right? Same with scoop. I think people can use this concept, not necessarily at this level where people are banging balls, but a way to expand our awareness in digging. So this is what I see a lot. Early platform. We're going to use Zoe as an example because I've worked with Zoe. I've been so freaking fortunate to work with Zoe. For those that follow Noisy Buckets, Mason Briggs was the first athlete. Zoe was the second. Zoe used to reach out to me, I think when she was in high school or her first year in college. And I remember she'd ask me these amazing questions. I was like, who is this girl? And so when I was going back and thinking about bringing in a woman libero, I was like, what's that girl's name again? I used to ask me those questions. Zoe Fleck. So Zoe's been a stud. And this is when we first started working together last year. And I think what a lot of athletes do, right? Balls hit, balls in her midline, great, right? You can see how early she connects it. But it works out. Balls in her midline, hips are facing, shoulders facing, got it. Boom, easy, right? This is something that Tai Chi talks about in his passing course. I don't know. Can you guys hear this? Let me use volume before. Also, let me know in the chat who's watched the Tai Chi course yet. It's very interesting. Tai Chi is a Japanese professional libero who wrote me 2 years ago about creating a course, and I was like, I don't know, but creating it with him was so cool because I learned a lot. Nobody really understands what's going on in Japan, but in Japan, they're playing the game at an extremely high level. So freaking cool. I'm gonna play it one more time. If you guys want, check out the subtitles. But he talks about on defense just the efficiency, no unnecessary movements, relaxed, loose arms. It's almost the opposite how I play defense. And so it really made me question a lot of stuff I'm doing. And one of the athletes I work with one-on-one, he changed it and he loves the style. Relaxed, loose, and the priority is as loose as possible because you can be more free and creative in adjusting and responding to hard balls. So this is what I see a lot. Unconscious default moves, right? And so we put our platform together just whenever. We don't really understand where the ball's going. Could be to the left, could be the right, could be at our face, but we put our arms together. Zoe used to do this. You'll see in a little bit. She's changed. Can you guys hear me or not the video? I'm seeing the chat right now. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, perfect. So you can see with Zoe and myself included, I'm guilty of this as well. And whenever I struggle with defense, I really try to be more conscious in creating separation from my arms. So here's what we see. Quick defense, right? This is the move. We're here, balance, perfect, right? Exactly what Zoe wants, but unconscious move. We're together. And then as the ball's outside of our body, slowly turn. We lost that. Let's get that back. Let's watch that one more time just in case you guys missed it. So what we see a lot in these shanks, I see a lot in shanks in say women's, men's, pro, arms are connected together unconsciously. And as we turn to the ball, everything goes outside. Hips, shoulders turn. Now we have a new angle. All goes that way, right? So we have to do something really complicated for wrists, our elbows, our hips, to do something to bring it back. And it's just so difficult, right? So left side, it's the same thing. Ball's outside of her body. We can see her arms connect early, connected, and as she attempts to find and track the ball, everything opens up, leaving her extremely vulnerable. Same thing, her more exaggerated spot, right? That ball's a little bit more outside of her body, and it's the same thing, just like that middle dig. Boink. New unintended angle, and that's where the ball goes. So, same thing, pursue balls, right? One more time, slow motion, arms together, and as she moves to the ball, so much slower. You can see it's still connected. And as we move outside of our body, hips turn, shoulders turn, new angle. And that's where the momentum takes us. One more time. You just see that early platform, that early unconscious platform leads to a new unintended angle. So there's a better way, right? And how I taught this for the NCAA men and women was through scooping, and we did it with one arm. Colton was there. So love that, Colton, that you're still showing up to these things. Colton was there in Vegas. And the thought is why we train scooping is because we have so much more room here, so much more surface area than we do here, right? And so we get the feeling of being able to move with one arm rather than an unconscious unit because of that ball's outside of our midline. Now we have an unconscious angle, right? We want to be more efficient so we can be more consistent so we can dig more balls. So this is probably the best example ever of digging with conscious individual arms. Waiting, 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 waiting. See, my arms never touched, right? Yeah, we got that Polish Wi-Fi. We're not doing so well, but that's okay. You guys are hanging in there. Let's watch that one more time again. So just really being patient. Individual arms scooping, waiting, waiting, waiting. Patient. That hard-driven ball, so we can respond quicker. Right? Arms aren't even close together. Boom. And so a lot of people, when they see this stuff, they're like, okay, cool. Like, Dustin, you can do it. Like, you're a pro. You play in the men's game. You can do it. What about me? Like, I'm not going to play against people that hit this hard. I don't need to do it. It doesn't make sense. I can get two arms on it. And what I've seen, especially in women's volleyball, is there's a lot of opportunities to make digs with individual arms and scoop defense, right? Scoop defense because we have a lot more surface area, almost triple than we were to stab with one arm, right? So Zoe's been crushing it this year. Zoe's taking these concepts and run with them. Patient, arms are separate, 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 separate. No wasted movement, no wasted energy, no wasted time in digging a ball that's so outside of our body. Is there a way to optimize video for sharing? I don't know. Last month it was pretty good, and it might be choppy because of the setting I have it on to make it a little slower. So I apologize. Let me know if it's that brutal. We can slow it down. Same thing for line digs. You can see my arms are separate as well, and just being more efficient. Yeah, I can see what you guys are talking about right now, how it's choppy. My other screen, it's not so choppy. Same thing with Zoe. Patient, patient, patient. We're going to slow it down for you guys. Arms out. Patient, patient, not connecting. Still not connected. She keeps her hips. She keeps her shoulders longer. Gets a ball that's about 3 feet outside of her body. Amazing. And she's been so successful this year because she's expanded her range. And it's been so cool to see that. Left side, same thing, right? Okay, Dustin, it's just you. You're just a pro. Like me as a 16-year-old, me in college, me in D2. I don't know. I just don't think I can do it. Carl, great point. We're gonna see a clip on that soon. So patient, patient, and this is what we see a lot of times for the best diggers, right? We're not connecting in our midline. We're not necessarily scooping every ball, but we're being patient and connecting a little bit on the side. So here to here, we can keep our hips and our shoulders rather than here and then opening it up here. And so Carl has a great question. At what point should we put our platform together versus one arm digs and scoops? Great question. When we're scooping, it's a reaction. When we're digging, it's a response, right? And so when the ball is outside of our body, it's going to be a scoop if it's hard. And if it's easy, we just put it together, right? Because I want to lead, for example, ball's on my right side. I'm leading with my right hand. And as I'm going, I want, if I can, bring my left hand. And it's easy. I can connect it. Boom, right? As much as we can. We want to dig balls with two hands. We want to dig them together because we want to control it. But as I spoke about in the digging course, the goal is the opportunity. The ball has to be up. It doesn't need to be perfect. A non-setter can make a good set to continue the rally. That's the purpose. And then off-speed shots as well, right? Off-speed shots, being simpler, being more efficient. Hands aren't connected. Hands are moving individually. And we can make these plays. Taking more court, fast reactions, expanding our greatness. Same with Zoe. Boom. So much better compared to that dig when she was playing with UCLA. Waiting, 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 still waiting, still not connected, still not connected. And you can see she's able to get this part of her arm, giving her about 2 to 3 times more surface area. And so the thought for me is a lot of the work is intention versus outcome, right? I know this group, you're very intentional. So write in the chat, what are some of the intentions you bring in for defense, right? You're going to get extra defensive work with a coach, with a teammate. You're staying after practice, you're getting there early, or you have a drill and you're focusing on defense. What are you focusing on? Comment in the chat. I want to hear what you guys are focusing on with your intention. Because when I was digging, when I was young, I was just focusing on the outcome. My thought was just dig the ball. I got to dig the ball. At best, my intention was beat the ball to the floor, right? Which isn't so bad, but it's like shooting a basket, right? Shooting basketball and the elbow leading, whatever. If we're just having the goal, like ball needs to go in the hoop. Well, we're not going to have a very intentional, conscious, consistent results. But we can be more intentional, outcome's going to come. So let's see. Staying on my toes, be at the right spot, go for every ball, no hesitation, strong platform. So yeah. So this is good to see. You know, a lot of these comments remind me of a younger version of myself. And so what I'm seeing is you guys have a lot of potential in getting more out of reps, getting more out of practice, right? Repetition until perfect. What reps are we getting? What are we doing? Right? Keeping my arms away from her body. Ha, Mason. So Mason's here. All right, that was the best comment I got. So that's something that I focus on. Let's see if we get Mason in here. Keeping my arms away from my body. That's so funny. So that's, in my opinion, that is the best comment. And that's something I focus on too. So let's see if we can get Mason in here. This is my first time using this, and now I'm actually a little nervous. Let's see. Mason, is there like something that you can? There you go. How we doing?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear Mason?
Okay.
All right, let's see if I can do you and the screen at the same time. This might be a little intense. Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So Mason, we're gonna run through perfect timing, the Mason dig, right? So as I mentioned a little bit before, I've been really fortunate to work with Mason and just to see him expand his game, going from second team All-American to freaking traveling on the World Championship with Team USA. And one of the things that I found in his video I thought was really interesting, and I was like, you know, I think there's a better way. I don't know why he's doing this, but I never made a comment. And then I started using it in the clinics this summer, and all the kids loved it. Everyone, it was their favorite way to pursue balls. And so I've seen this a little bit with Pavel Satorsky from Poland, also with Luke Perry from Australia, one of the best young liberos right now as well. He's also in Poland. But this thought of going towards the ball instead of having an arm like this, reaching out a little bit more, being able to scoop it out and fall on your back. So Mason, talk to us a little bit about this, how you started doing it, and what's your thought? Like, why don't you dolphin dive, and why do you prefer this? What do you think can be some of the benefits, and what do you suggest for young athletes and coaches maybe looking to teach this?
for sure. I know like when Dusty and I first started talking about it, I think my first response or one of my first responses was like, "Oh, I think it started because of my knees." And like
Yeah.
freshman year of college, I had pretty bad knees, couldn't even like get into a full lunge or hurt to hit the floor, those types of things. And so I think it kind of extended off of that, but also just made sense to me in terms of like when you have a closed fist, to really get around that ball is tough. But once you open that hand, you can get around the ball just as if you're hitting or, a certain shot, um, wrapping around that ball and really contorting where you want the ball to go, manipulating the ball where you want to go.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I got lucky with it starting because of my knees, or I don't know if that is exactly how it came about. But just going on those short balls, like when you're running towards the net, especially area 5 defense, going and getting a tip that's over the block, and
Mm-hmm.
you're either pancaking for that ball or you're going and making that one arm play, you really have to crack your platform. So to me, and we kind of debriefed and discovered this after, like I barely even noticed that I did it and that it was different, but to me it just made so much sense of actually finishing with the not even just the hand but the arm all the way through and
Mm-hmm.
bringing that ball back off the net, and almost landing on your back is what we kind of practiced and trained at the camps this summer, which was pretty cool to see. um, all of the athletes use that and learn from that. And then even balls to the side, I think you showed that one clip. like when you're going, you got to get that ball back towards the net or back towards your team. Same thing if you're
Yep.
going forward. And so to me, you can just get that extra extension, similar to a pancake. When you're extending fully all the way through, you get that extra shoulder extension, and that just made more sense to me.
Yeah, I'll
That
show
just made more
exactly
sense to me.
I'll show exactly what Mason's talking about when we hangs up on the call. But you can see this play of Luke Perry. If he goes for the pancake, at best the ball hits the tape and maybe it's a bump set. But like what Mason's saying, we can wrap around it, and as you're touching it and falling, you're still contorting, putting momentum back into the ball to bring it off the net. And you can see in this play, he does an amazing job, right? Patient, whapping it back, and then you can get a set on it. Same thing, whapping it up. You got Taylor Averill made the highlight here. Perfect, right?
No
Perfect.
way.
Perfect, right? And I don't know if you guys knew, Taylor Averill was Mason Briggs' roommate in World Championships, so I think he needs to give you credit for that.
Yeah, probably.
So I love
his whole time of giving a hard time to liberos. Stay strong, liberos.
So for you guys there, we have Mason for a little bit. If you guys have any questions, write them down now. And then Mason, just some thoughts on scooping, benefits, cons. You've done a really good job in college. You don't see a lot of people scooping. It's going to be something that's obviously going to help you in the next level.
Yeah.
How did you learn it, and what are some of your keys?
I think there's a lot to it. So many different things I could say about it. But first thing on my mind, going off of the Mason dig, as Dustin likes to call it, would be, it's also just, to me, it went along with the mentality of like, just go. You know, you saw that ball to the side of making that move into the court. To me, if you're not thinking, like we talk about all the time, of like those independent arms, or just going with one arm and then maybe the other arm gets there, is if you just throw that arm at it, which is kind of that slap Mason dig move, then you're just in the mentality of go, like dig the ball and extending yourself. Whereas sometimes you can get so locked into like just digging that ball right to you, not thinking about going with your shoulder and your arms and extending that space, which I guess leads me to my answer of scooping and the benefits of it is just at least to start with the mentality of it all, right? That ball's coming at you, and we use scooping more for those hard driven balls. Even on, like, my favorite is scooping a quick attack. You barely have any time to make a move. And I think it just plays instead of it, of I'm going to go and I'm going to dig this ball and I'm just going to react. And you might not always have the most time to make a move. And with scooping and actually training it consistently, which is what I've been fortunate enough to do at the camps, and even now, right now with some athletes I'm working with, is seeing that come to life of the training put into scooping and the actual movements of it. It's not just random throwing your hands at it, but little keys you can take away, like keeping your arms away, finishing to the ceiling, all those types of things that go into it and that I think can extend your game. And like you always talk about with Zoe, of taking her to that next level and getting those extra touches or extra digs, because that's really the goal with defense, is just keeping the ball off the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then as we'll talk about soon, everyone's working hard, and so the thought is for athletes that are really passionate about growing their game is working hard with clear intention, more clarity. And so when you're getting those reps, you truly understand what you're getting accomplished, what the goal is. And I think the overall goal for anyone playing defense, not just liberos, but to expand your awareness of defense. So let's see some of the questions. Rob, I'll answer this a little bit later. How do we educate high school club refs that's not a lift? Got to spike the ball, right? If you go open hand and the ball rests in your hand, it's a lift, right? You can't argue this. But if you go and you spike the ball, which we'll see some videos after Mason leaves, it's not a lift because the ball does not rest in the hand. That's the thing.
Yep.
My girlfriend comes from a family of refs. The ball rests in the hand. It's a lift. But if you go and spike it, it's not a lift.
I had that same question from a parent. I was training an athlete the other day. I said, is this a lift, or would they call this a lift in like girls volleyball? And I was like, if you think about it, it's just you're spiking the ball. Same thing, just kind of underhand. So As long as you're quick with the arms and you're finishing, not catching the ball, then it shouldn't be a lift.
Good question from Kyle. Mason, what's your preferred way to train the scoop outside of gameplay, one-on-one or small group sessions?
So like in-person training?
Yeah, I think like a one-on-one, extra reps, maybe working with someone on privates.
As simple as someone hitting the ball at you, and like the number one thing Dustin and I always talk about, and I like to mention as well, is just the intention. So I think that's what you guys were talking about when I kind of hopped on the call, that intention of keeping your arms away. That's what I typed into the chat. Right?
Yeah.
Of not
I was
just
like, who is
starting.
this? Who is this? Mason.
That wasn't planned. But like when you're going into training, having that intention of little things you're going to work on, little keys you're going to work on, because to me, when you are working in those one-on-one sessions or types of training, that's where you're going to build the habit of what you're going to take into your gameplay. So if I'm keeping my arms in against my body every single time and my coach isn't realizing that, or whoever I'm training with isn't realizing that, then that's not necessarily helping me, which is also where we can break it down in film. But I want to build that habit of having my arms away, and then from there I can make a better move. So just one-on-one reps of someone hitting at you, whether it's on a box or even from the ground, and building those habits.
I feel it's just so important for an athlete to take responsibility, not only of the knowledge of what you want to bring into practice, but that intention, because it's not the coach's fault. The coach has to worry about 12 at Long Beach, maybe 22 other players, blocking D, serving, maybe setting philosophy, transition, and then maybe last libero, right?
Exactly.
And so, hey, if the coach can help you and teach you, that's great. But for sure, they're not going to be able to help coach you every practice, not every play. So by you taking more responsibility and understanding what you need to do, especially at a high level, and helping you be more efficient, then yeah, you're just going to get better every single day.
Yeah, I kind of have to take matters into our own hands a little bit as liberos, and I think that's why what Dusty's doing is amazing, because he's offering those tools and things like this. Probably learning and talking and hearing more about anything libero than you ever would at any level or any team, because the sad truth of it is sometimes just not overlooked, but there's other things that have to be done when you're in a full team setting.
Exactly. Any other questions for Mason? I got Gail's question. I'll hit that after Mason gets done. But any other specific questions for Mason? Mason, you still have 2 more years left at Long Beach, right?
Yep.
2 more banners to put up. Mason's at the beach shirt right now for the women's team, so let him get out. Do you guys have any other questions for Mason? Here's a good one, actually. Where do you want the ball to contact you on a hard-driven ball, and how do you work on not swinging your arms and missing the ball?
That is a good question. Same thing came up in training the other day. The person was just kind of slapping with just their hands, right? There's more than just your hands and just your arms. You have to finish all the way through, like a normal dig, as if you had your platform together and you're finishing your dig. We talk a lot about like the difference between digging and passing, right? Passing a lot of the time can just be angles, right? Mm-hmm. Digging, you might have to finish and, like we've talked about, manipulate that ball a little bit more. So a lot of the times on my forearms with a finish through to get that backspin on the ball up towards the ceiling. But say, like we started talking about, you're extended outside your body and you're slapping with your hand a little bit more, or a ball in front of you, you're just going and finishing high with maybe just your hands or fingertips. I think that's the cool thing about defense. It's not so has to be this, has to be that, right? There's so many different ways, and we always talk about this, of different ways to dig the ball. And that's why I'm sure you're here learning about that, and you've seen some videos of maybe it's off the chest, maybe it's the shoulder, scoop, Mason dig, whatever it may be. There's not only one way for one ball that can come at you.
Boom. Man, appreciate you. Mason, I'll let you get going. Get that vitamin D that I'm so lacking in Poland, as you can see my face. But appreciate you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me on.
Everyone can find you. What's your tag for Instagram? I think everyone here is probably following you.
Mason S. Briggs. I'll type it in the chat. Message me if you have a question. I think I
Cool.
spelled that right. Yep.
All right,
I'm on
Mason.
there.
Appreciate you, my
Sweet.
brother. Got to let me know how the scrimmage went yesterday. My dad was there actually watching it. So
Yeah, yeah.
how that
He said hi to me. He
went.
talked to me. Said
All
what's
right.
up.
I'll let you
We'll
go.
talk soon.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right. See you. All right, let's get back. We had one really good question that everyone's bumping up. Let me see. It was Noel, I think. What was the question? Scrolling back up. Maybe write it again. We are a little behind. Damn, good. I love this. I love everyone commenting. Where was it? Gail, what was your question again? Can you write it? How can you practice scoop defenses? No one to assist. You got to watch film. This is it. Man, you will be. It's crazy how quickly you can learn from not touching a ball, not being in a gym, not playing with anyone. By watching film of the best players play, you're gonna learn. When I was in Brazil, I had video of Sergio. And in Brazil, they push the ball in reception. We're going to talk about this in a later day. Pushing the ball, and I couldn't figure it out. I watched video on Sergio for 2 weeks straight, and I started doing it. And I was like, "What's going on?" And it's this thought, and it talks about in Inner Game of Tennis, one of my favorite books. The subconscious mind is much more powerful. It absorbs things a lot better. How do we absorb it? How do we train our subconscious mind? By watching rather than someone telling us what to do. Arguably could be more impactful than actually doing it. And some authors have made this point. So this is why for the Libero Academy, we have maybe about 24 hours of professional liberos passing, digging, scooping, so you can learn, right? The thought is no excuses for athletes. No excuses for athletes at all. I was going to talk about this later, but man, let's freaking get to it. So yeah, for the Libero Academy, like we're all in today. For the people that showed up here, we're gonna have a promo code. So to get in the Libero Academy, it's about $400, $399 for today. Use the promo code SCOOP, $100 off. Go all in, right? If you're an athlete that's showing up today, it's a Sunday, a beautiful fall Sunday, showing up, coming in, watching video, talking about Scoop. This is the community for you. Last webinar, we had so many people come up. It was amazing. And so that's the thought, is just to build this community up of like-minded athletes, bringing in athletes like Mason. We're going to get more professional liberos coming in, and to provide content like this where all right, Polish Wi-Fi, love it. So providing content like this. This is Mason, came in to Vegas. We flew out Mason, we flew out Zoe, we flew out Lexi, and wanted to train them so you could learn from it. So this is the thought with the Mason dig, right? That's our pancake. If we get creative with our shoulders, we can go further. We can also use this hand to scoop more. So we filmed this Vegas clinic, brought in like a wedding videographer to film this. We have 90 minutes of content in the classroom and on the court. See, Zoe's there, Lexi, Mason. We had 7 other NCAA liberos as well. So you can see the Mason dig in full effect. And so also trading the Mason dig, right? And the thought is we want to shape and contort it all the way to the last second. See Lexi crushing it. And so we're all in on a community of like-minded athletes and coaches that they just don't want to rest, right? Just as myself in high school, I spent all the time in the world playing volleyball, but I really didn't understand what I was doing intentionally. So building that community, Mason, Zoe, Lexi helping. So next thing we're going to talk about open hand defense. We're going to go on this a little bit today, kind of what Mason's talking about. We don't want to go like this. We want to go here. because we have so much more surface area, so much more control, and so much more ability to contort the ball rather than here, rather than here, rather than here. And actually, we can dig balls with our hands, right? Because this ball is so hard, and sometimes. And so we need to be able to be more creative, right? On these fast balls that we don't necessarily have time for. And so watch it one more time. Everything with the hands first instead of the arms, right? With scooping, if the ball is here, right? It's either going here with the scoop and being off balance, or just reaching with the hand, right? And being able to slap things up, right? We're not letting the ball rest on our hands. We're slapping it. So that's it. Boom. And again, keep on hitting up with the questions. I'll answer as much as I can. If I don't hit your questions, save it to the end, and we'll make sure, again, you guys are leaving with as much clarity as possible. So training, I forget the name, who it was. How do we make sure it's not a lift, right? Because we don't want to train things that are going to be called as a lift. That doesn't make any sense, right? And so training this, you'll see this in the Libero Academy. We broke it down really slow to just like figuring out how to impact that ball, to go forward using the shoulder and the elbow, and we finish with the wrist to put that motion into the ball. Same thing going to the side. You can see that movement. I think Lindsay just had a question. Yeah, with the roll, this is what we've seen in college liberos. They make this move, slap it, and then kind of roll up, right? Zoe as well. Dig, pursue, full out, reach, and extend ourselves. And so when we do this, when we train, again, we want to be intentional with our conscious mind to re-groove good habits rather than these unconscious bad habits, right? And so one of the drills that we'll talk about next week is the never pancake drill. So this is Lexi just absolutely killing it. We're going to watch it again. And the goal in this drill, or the only rule, is you can't pancake the ball. And so you have to get creative. You have to get flexible. You have to put your body in different ways and contacting the ball in different ways where we can spike it up rather than just pancaking, doing the least amount of effort. So boom. I want to share my story with you guys. So this is me, the second to the left, I guess you can say, right here, when I started playing volleyball, right? As I mentioned, I got a late start. Freshman year of high school, played soccer and basketball. I just wasn't very good at it. I made a twos team, was so pumped, but that team got last place at nationals. And so the next pretty much 3 summers, I put every hour into volleyball. Played beach with my dad, came home, taught my brother how to pepper, hit the ball off the wall, off the roof. I made progress, but it was slow. No access to meaningful content. So that summer, I worked every single day. All I did was play volleyball. Does it sounds familiar to anyone else here? All I did was play volleyball. And then the next tryout, I made a 1 team as a backup. I still couldn't make a 1 team as a starter. And so it was pretty debilitating, right? I played, I trained, I lived every moment of the day to play volleyball. Still didn't really make a first team. And the next year I made a first team as a backup, actually a year down. So even as a pro, I just hit so many road bumps. I had success, but moved up very slowly. My first 2 years was in Finland. My third year was in the French B League. At 31, I got benched in Berlin. And I thought, I'll see. As we mentioned, I follow the USA concepts to a T, right? To a T, and still, I really didn't understand my errors and my reception and where I was going wrong. But I found a mentor. I began investing in myself, and it changed my life. because for so long I read books, self-help books, and it was like find a mentor, find a mentor, find a mentor. The two liberos ahead of me for USA, they didn't really want to do it, right? So it happened to be a coach, a personal coach. And from there, I became a mentor, and that changed my life as well. So what I want to help you guys learn is my stories, my story through failure and what I've learned. Because this was me at 31, the year before I got benched in Berlin, 22nd best receiver in Poland, really freaking average. Right now I'm third in the league. Last year I was second. The year before that I was third as well. 22nd, right? And so in this year I started to invest. I realized I was going in a bad path and I had to change something. I hired a mindfulness coach. Eventually I hired a visualization coach, started using a habit tracker. 3 years now working with a personal coach, hundreds of hours of video each month, watching myself, watching the servers, watching other liberos. And I just realized that what I was doing wasn't good enough and I had to be more intentional. From there, working with a personal coach, he held me accountable to start writing about passing and digging, something I've always wanted to do. But there was nothing holding me to it, right? But paying this personal coach money each month, about half of my contract before paying for my house and my car, I was going to do the work, right? When you put money on the table, you do the work, right? Because now you have your feet to the fire. For the last 5 years before I worked with that coach, I always wanted to write about passing. Maybe one day I'll coach. I think it'd be smart. I just never did it, right? But putting money down in my name, I started to, right? Things. None of these things were asked from my coach, my manager, my agent, my national team coach, right? None of these things. I had to take it upon myself to hold myself accountable, to have this coach hold me accountable, to do the extra work. Because the thing that I realized is everyone is working hard, focusing my efforts and rather than outcome-based goals, it was intentional actions. The window to excellence is small. A lot of the one-on-one athletes I work with, it's not because they're good and they want to be great, or they're great and they want to be world class. It's their panic. I'm not going to play pro. I'm not going to be able to be a starter. I'm not going to go see NCAA. They're panicking. They waited too long and now they're coming for me, and almost as a band-aid, where the window is so small. And so there's just such an emphasis for greatness in putting the work every day and having as much clarity and confidence as possible. And as we talked about in the polls, or you guys talked about it, I wish I had more technical clarity, 61%. And I got a late start and missed out on the fundamentals, 25%. So more or less 86% of you guys shared that you wanted to have more clarity on technique, which I think is great because that's exactly what I know in my personal experience. Not only that, the failure is a gift, not your enemy. We're going to speak a lot about this in master classes and how you can be less anxious and more confident on the court, even when things aren't going your way. And to take risk, invest, and find a mentor. Put money down in your name. If you really care about something, you need to put money down in your name. You're going to get more wisdom. You're going to get more knowledge. You're going to save more time. You're going to be more likely to do the work, right? Because you don't want to pay that money. You don't want to put money down and not do anything. You're going to do the work. And for me, it's been night and day, because more or less my breakthrough year was as I was 32. So every moment outside of training is meaningful. So important to understand the why I'm passing in defense. So critical for consistent growth and improvement, right? And then to surround yourself with like-minded athletes and coaches pursuing the same journey, like we're doing here. So all this led me to develop the NAB framework, which I use in my one-on-one athletes, and Mason and Zoe. And what I started doing last year, working with one-on-one athletes and bridging all these things that I believed was so important in my success and bringing it to them. So working with their visualization coach, bringing the lessons I've learned from my mindfulness coach, digging and diving in the hours of video, understanding the passing and digging concepts, and empowering the athletes to train themselves rather than wait for the coaches to have the perfect drill, the perfect solution, the perfect tip. No. If you want to grow, you need to take responsibility. You need to hold yourself accountable, right? So I loved it and it worked really well. I still work on one-on-one athletes. But the thought is for me in doing these free webinars and also at the master classes, I want to empower every athlete that is willing to go all in. Athletes that, I get goosebumps talking about this, athletes that are all in with their effort, their dedication, and commitment to the game, right? Athletes that have big goals but don't really believe in themselves, like myself. I was only recruited by 2 colleges. I was a walk-on. 13 years later as a pro. How did it happen? I don't know. I had this belief and I got lucky. I had some great mentors and great coaches in college. So it's so important for me now in this community, we're building this together, to share the lessons I've learned through years of failure, not through years of success, years of failure, to dense it, package it all together so you can start working on these concepts and principles and drills 15, 16, 17, 18, right? When I started when I was 32, knowing that what you put in, you'll get back exponentially. So boom, this all led to the Libero Academy that we created. It's been 4 months now. Unbelievable. Second masterclass will be next week. And everyone asked me, what's inside of the Libero Academy? So we got the passing course. We got the digging course. Tai Chi's course of Japanese volleyball is in there. The NCAA Women's Clinic, that's a typo. That's already there. I have one-on-one NEB athlete calls with Mason, with Zoe, so you can see what we're talking about. Scouting preparation, tons of more. I think the Libero montage, we're up to 24 now, and 190 videos inside the academy for you to geek out, for you to dive in, for you to consistently get more clarity and more confidence so you can grow faster and have more fun playing the game that you love. So again, the promo code, you guys are good to go. This will be the only day that it's $100 off. So what a better time to go all in, right? To go all in and to be a part of the next masterclass next week where we'll get all the drills. We're going to have 4 drills to help your reaction time, to help you scoop, and to help you use the Mason dig and dig more balls off the block, right? To get as clear as possible for these actionable steps for you to be your best version day after day. Because again, the goal for me is no excuses, complete clarity, complete confidence, no excuses. So for today, get 25% off, $100 off the year. Use the promo code SCOOP. And just some feedback from Libero Academy members. I mean, this was 1,000 times better than I was expecting. Love to hear that. What really surprised me is how much content is coming out and how frequently it's coming out. That's all I'm working on right now. I have a girlfriend here. I try to be really present with her, but everything, all my time, all my energy is making this the best community ever. The best community ever in the volleyball community, with as much clarity, confidence, direction as possible. So it doesn't matter. You're in Indiana, you're in West Virginia, you're in Poland. Complete clarity for you to take responsibility in your journey to be the best version you can be every single day. There's nothing like this out there that really focuses on Libero, so in depth, and I truly love it. I love getting these videos. I'm going to share a couple. Last week was a split step, right? So I've gotten tons of videos of people sharing me their split step, how they're working on it. I'm going to help you. Write me. I'll give you feedback. That's part of the community, right? The website is not just something to throw you in and just to leave you. I'm going to be a part of your journey, especially with these master classes and chatting together. And we're going to work on it and get dialed in. So this is from an athlete I worked with over the summer. I can feel my passing game level up steadily. This is a video of me applying the split step to increase my range during passing. Love it. Boom. So clear, so intentional, right? Instead of, I'm not passing good, or, oh, I passed really well. I am increasing my range during passing through the application of this technique that we talked about and through the drills that you showed me. I just finished the Tai Chi 7-day course. This is the Japanese Libero. Opened my mind to so many other skill sets. Like I mentioned, we're going to go to Brazil and film some more courses with the Liberos there. I want to present to you as many schools of volleyball as possible, knowing that there's not just one school that works and it's not just 100%. I want you to take whatever makes sense, right? Try new concepts. It was strange at first because it was different than what I've been taught. But I think it worked because it was the idea of being relaxed. He's referencing the Tai Chi course on digging. Boom, and empowerment. I'm beginning to see my true potential come into fruition. My job as a college libero isn't over yet, but best believe I'm going out last year for bang. And then growth mindset. Like I mentioned earlier, everything we're doing on the Libero Academy is opening you up to all these liberos, right? So this guy's talking about Popivchak and Zatorsky. I couldn't seem to get evenly balanced, so I experimented and eventually found what works for me, taking lots of inspiration from the actions of Popivchak and Zatorsky off the Libero Academy. Boom, right? Using different styles. Is a 1 foot split step, 2 foot split step. What's the difference? What's the libero from Australia doing? What are the liberos from Argentina doing? Right now we have 2 liberos from Argentina, 2 from Brazil, 3 from Poland, 1 from Italy, 1 from Australia, and we have 5 others I just haven't put up yet. Coaches, 11 of my 13 players subscribe. I'm loving the production of them. It's been a blessing to have kids get valuable feedback and instructions from high-level players. We're loving and living the content. Boom. Speaking of, do you guys want to check it out? Is there anyone here that hasn't seen the inside? Would you guys want, write in the comments if you guys want me to share. I can take you inside the Libero Academy so you guys can get a look. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, let's do it. Let me see. Let me pull this up. Let's see. All right. Let me know if you guys can see this. Nope. Let me see. Sorry, I can get you inside. All right. So here it is. Can you guys see this? Let me know. Yes, yes, yes. Boom. So here we go. So here's the landing page, and just really simple for you guys. All in membership. This is what we have the promo for today. And so we can see it here. And we have a quick little caption of everything we're working on. Go to my dashboard. I'm already in. You can see the master class of last week. Broke it into to easy to digest, right? So we have the webinar, and then we also have how to train it, right? So we have the distinction drill, getting really clear, right? How do I do it? How do I train it? What should I be focusing on? And getting really clear on step after step how to do it. So one of the biggest things for the split step is people go too wide. If you don't train it right, if you don't have the clarity, you're going to end up wide, and it's actually going to be something worse for you, right? And so we're getting really clear with like straight up putting stickers on the ground to make sure you understand how to do it correctly, right? So important to be able to have that clarity of what the outcome is, and so your intention is correct. Where a lot of athletes don't really understand the outcome and what's going to happen. We get the NEB athletes film, for example. We can go with Mason, and this is something we talked about a lot last year. Mason, we got to make them serve you, right? Nobody's going to serve you. You're the best libero, right? But you can't help the team if nobody's serving you. So what are some of the things that we can do to bait them? We can see the Argentina film study, and how I break this up is defense from each position, right? Defense from middle attack. We have defense on high ball. So every play in this is defense on high ball. So how does he move? How does he start? Is it different? What is he doing with his arms? And then we have defense on area 4 attack, defense on area 2 attack, right? So we have Gonzalez. We also have the Nani, who is now the national team starter. And then reception as well. We can see jump serve, all negatives, jump serve positive, Float serve, negative. Float serve, positive. What are they doing so well consistently to be great? And what's happening on the plays where they goof, right? Even the best liberos in the world make mistakes. So can we learn from them? My answer, absolute yes. And this is actually something, if you can see here, I'm using as well. Like, this is important for me. Of course, we have the passing course and the digging course, the original that I wrote and gave me so much clarity. Passing course, we're talking about the split step, creating space, how we present our arms, shanking less float serves, the biggest key that I use, moving, and then finishing the pass by creating more space. As I mentioned, we have the Anaheim NCAA Men's Libero Clinic coming up soon. It's just finishing with subtitles. And then we can see 90 minutes of the work we did with the NCAA Liberos in Vegas. We brought 9 NCAA Liberos and Mason. And one of the feedback I got from the passing course was, we want drills. Dustin, I want drills. I want drills. I understand the concepts. I understand the principles, but I want the drills. Please, please, please. So we straight up, or I guess I straight up, threw a camp in Vegas and brought these liberos and trained them. Brought in 2 videographers. They filmed it, mic'd me up, and we got as clear as possible so you can get as clear as possible in training. Getting very specific on the space, on the misconceptions, and how we can dig more balls. This, for example, is digging with one arm, right? Why do we dig with one arm? What's the thought behind it? What's the principles? It doesn't make any sense, right, to put one arm behind your back. But by moving individually with one arm, we can start to move our consciousness rather than just being unconscious in our moves, right? So that's the basic for me for scoop defense, is training with one arm. If you're a coach, complete clarity on how to do it as well. Everything's in there. We have my film breakdown where you're going to watch my film and I'm going to break it down for you, where I messed up, where I did well. We got Tai Chi School of Volleyball as well. So we have 16 courses and counting. We're going to add 17 soon with the Anaheim Libero Clinic. And then the topic for next week, where you guys can get a jump on, is scouting servers. So getting clear on watching how I prepare and how I chart servers to get in better positions, right? You can see this side of the court, everyone's moving, right? They start in one spot and then they move. Why is that, right? Each server has tendencies, and it's so important to go on these tendencies. So cool. Let's get out of here. So that's the Libero Academy. And again, for today only, $100 off for you guys that came up, showed up, freaking on a Sunday. It's awesome. So again, use the promo code SCOOP. Also, I still have some other things I'm going to share with you at the end for staying for so long. So hang in, and then just tell you a little bit more about the Academy. So bonus 1, the masterclass. I did this last year. Charged $300 a month for 2 sessions. So already that's $1,200. You sign up today, you get included. The next 12 masterclasses, you'll get an email sent just to you and other people inside the Academy. So you guys will have the private link. It won't be public at all. This is only something can access inside the Libero Academy. It's just my way of honoring you guys. And so with the webinar, we're going to talk about the concepts and principles anyone can join. For the masterclass, we're going to dive deep, how to do it, how to train it, exactly the drills, how to step, how to move, what we're focusing on. Like Mason was talking about with scooping. Do I just move my fingers? Do I move my wrist? What am I doing to shape the ball? We're going to get as clear as possible in the master classes, and in the Libero Academy, you'll have access to it to watch the replays all the time. So the second session will be next week, October 30th. How to train scooping and reaction drills. Faster, quicker step, get you dialed in. So a couple other wins from coaches. My libero doing some dusty stuff. She doesn't pass here, but she's starting to get the idea how to read and to move. And then an hour later, Epic was standing the 2 seam because of the split step, still got to a great A1 serve. And so that's what you love to see, right? See your kids winning, more clarity, more confidence. And this is no average coach. This is a coach of Miracosta, the number 7 team in the nation, investing in his kids. And this was the move. Pretty freaking cool. How intentional, how efficient she was. Bonus 2, priceless, right? One-on-one call with me. Let's do it. So every month, I'm going to give someone a one-on-one call. We're going to go over your video, any questions you have, give you some drills, just you and I. Every month, we're going to chat and go all in on your game. Anyone that subscribed to the academy, you get a chance to work with me. And actually, you know what, today too. Let's see. Today, anyone that signs up in the next 20 minutes while this is still going, I'm going to choose someone out of this and give another one-on-one call to. So, boom. We got the coupon for $100, and also I'll give away a one-on-one call. So anyone that signs up today, right now, within the next 20 minutes, you're entered to win for a one-on-one call. This is how I work with the NAB athletes like Mason. We jump on Zoom, we watch video, we talk about concepts, and I give them drills to take away. So Libero Academy is not for everyone, right? It's awesome, but it's not just a video with drills, just courses, just drills, just documents to use to form better habits and routines. We'll have the serving chart in there next week, or just for anyone who wants to kind of check things out. Libero Academy is a mentorship. It's a coaching academy and a community of like-minded individuals who are all in and becoming their best version day after day, whether it's themselves or coaching, mentoring others as well. So what are the other options? For me, it was my time, right? My breakthrough came at 32. I was still a pro, but I wasn't playing at a high level. So it's your time, right? It's your time. For a lot of athletes out there, high school, college, you just don't have time, right? So hundreds of hours on YouTube, Instagram, Google, bookmarking, watching videos of some type of clarity, intention, while finding multiple perspectives that are in complete contrast to each other. So who's right? Who's wrong? Right? So the important thing, everything that we talk about is not objective, but there's concepts and principles, right? Split step, we want to be more efficient. A lot of ways we can split step. Scoop defense, we want to be more efficient. We want to be faster in keeping our hips and our shoulders to our target. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. Pursuing balls, getting tips, a lot of different ways. I like open hand, but there's different ways that we're going to talk about as well. You choose, you take responsibility, you dive in, right? It's all about you taking responsibility and investing. And then online courses, right? $20, $50 for a basic course, $50 to $80 for advanced course. I know that because I sell them. All these courses are inside the Libero Academy that I sell, right? And with online courses, how many questions you can answer? You just watch it one day and that's it. You binge watch it. Don't really take anything from it. And then one-on-one coaching. Hey, one-on-one coaching is the best thing I could ever recommend. It worked for me. Mindfulness coach, my personal coach. It's a big ask. $1,200, $2,500 for to work with an NAB mentor. It's a big financial commitment. I do have a spot open right now. I just had one athlete who decided she's going to transfer and take a redshirt year. So I do have one opening right now, but it's a big financial ask. And so that's why I created the community. So more people could get the same type of coaching. And then the worst thing you can do is nothing at all. Hoping it'll work out. Or the worst of all, just leaving your improvement up to chance. Maybe I have a good coach. Maybe I don't. Maybe my coach was a libero. Maybe not. And just lose out on a short window for high school or to make the NCAA team of your dream, right? Go all in. I'm not going to say it's going to work. You go all in each and every single day. You put money on the table. You're more likely to do the work. And that's what we're seeing from athletes that have gone all in with the year membership. They're doing the work consistently. Day after day, they're coming back to the site. They're coming to the master classes. They're asking great questions. They're sending video in, more clarity, more confidence. They understand the intention that they're working with, and that intention is bringing results. So boom, this is it. Libero Academy. join the masterclass. Over $700 worth of content inside with the access to the monthly masterclass. And so usually $39 a month, $3.99 a year. Today, use the code Scoop, get in there and crush it with me, crush it with a group of like-minded athletes. Just use the code Scoop. You're in. This will be the last day. In 30 minutes, I'll take the code off, and that's it. So if you're ready to invest and to go all in, see what's possible, do it. It's a lesson I wish I would have had. And to have a mentor to lean on. This is a text I got from Mason. Had to send you this one. And this is him split stepping this summer. Amazing. How much core he's taking. Same thing, Zoe. I got this the other day. Hey, thought this is a cool dig because I've really been working on identifying tips and rolls earlier. And on film here, I saw that hitter early. And this isn't a ball I would have gone for earlier in my career, but I was kind of surprised by myself how early I got there. And this is 100% from the film, right? We're going to watch a lot of film next week. I'm going to teach you how to watch film, right? So you can get ahead of the hitter, ahead of the server, and make plays like this. This is a libero for the #1 team in the nation, right? Saying that video helped her. Yep, that's what I know. And that's what we're going to watch video next week or next month with the masterclass. So yeah, bonus 2, being able to work with me one-on-one, putting my philosophy to the test, what I've learned, what I've failed. Mason went from being the second best libero in 2021 to lapping that first team libero and being the youngest libero to travel with the national team to world championships. And you know what? Not just Mason, not just Zoe, but more and more athletes. These are the athletes that have sent me the video from the split step, and it's cool being able to chat with them, see how they're doing, giving them little hints on how they can be better. This is something you would like to work with a professional libero. This is the community, right? We're going to go all in together. So, boom. Let's get started now, right? Passing course, digging course, Tai Chi's, the masterclass, usually $400 today, $300. Use the promo code Scoop. Go all in. Let's see who's in. Let's see who we got. Boom. All right, we got some. Let's go. So we got Coach Josh is in. Caroline is in. Connor. Allison is in. Boom. Amazing. We got that email there. That shouldn't be there. Who else? We got David's in. Kelly's in. Another Dave. Tatum. Let's go. Heck yeah. So everyone, like I mentioned, everyone that goes in for the next 20 minutes, use the code. I'll use that to source it. You guys will be included in the raffle, like a private raffle. It's for the one-on-one call. Everyone inside the community every month will be entered for a one-on-one call. So I'll do 2 this week or this month as well. And let's go. I mean, now's the time. Normally $400 today, $300. And it's just what I know when you invest in yourself, especially when you pay a price where it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel comfortable, you're going to do the work, right? And so that's what we both want. I want you to be your best version. You want to be your best version. By putting money down, you're more likely to do the work, not only tomorrow, but the next day, consistently, day after day, you're going to do the work, especially when it comes from your own pocket, right? So this is a note I got from someone that was on the last webinar. What you said about the webinar today about broke college students putting in the work after paying for the membership hit home with me because that's literally me. So he wrote me, after a week since starting, I'm already noticing my play improving a lot. I felt like I was always in the right spot and everything that came up to me in a good way. So I'd like to say thanks again. So he got the full membership and he's crushing it, right? That's awesome. He was in for the monthly, didn't feel good about it, went in, and he's putting in the work. Invest in yourself. The best place you could ever put your money is in yourself, in your belief of your highest version of yourself. Practice last night was game-changing. I don't think you understand, man. Practice last night was a game-changing practice. I really focused on my split. Started shuffling backwards, be able to create space. So many great keywords: split, creating space, talking about scooping as well later in the text. I'm more ready to dig balls using the palms up, arms bent outside the shoulders method. I talk about this in the digging course, which is free in the Libero Academy. So love it. That's it. So bonus today, one-on-one coaching call giveaway. If you enroll during the workshop right now, you're in. You're ready to go. So let's see. Boom. Ashley's in. Kevin's in. Maro, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Welcome. Let's freaking go. And then let's open up to questions. If you guys have questions, let's do it. One last thought message I got. Dustin, I was watching footage of Mason, and after just one video, I started applying small things like the step before the serve. Things are getting better. I knew it'd be worth it. It's also making me excited to coach because I can feel like I'm absorbing a lot of things that I can pass down. Boom. More clarity, more confidence, more joy, playing and coaching the game. So boom, hit me guys up with questions. What do you guys have? We went over a lot of stuff today, scooping, especially with the open hand stuff. So really cool. So grateful for you guys to show up on a Sunday. And the excitement for me is working with you guys next week, showing you guys the drills. We have 4 drills we're going to work on: reaction speed, scooping, and also training the Mason dig. You guys already have a lot of a video in the Libero Academy for drills, but we're going to be as specific as possible next week. So let's see. What do you guys have for questions? I'm just catching up to the chat right now. Let's see. I know TJ Sanders is doing something similar setting, but thoughts on where to get his level of depth and quality for setters. Setters Academy is coming soon. I think that's the first time I've said it out loud. Setter Academy is coming soon. So that's pretty excited. Wish I could sign up for this. I don't have that kind of money. Go for the month. Go in for the month. Watch as many videos as you can, right? If you don't have that money, man, maybe it sounds rude, but find a job, like work for it, right? Something that's been really important for me is, rather than thinking of ways to save money, finding ways where I can be of value and earning more money, and then spending that money on myself, right? Everything that's come in Noisy Buckets has come through me investing in a personal coach. The last 3 years working with a personal coach to help me be more creative, more intentional, more valuable for that younger version of myself that I showed you earlier, right? That 15-year-old that loved volleyball but wasn't good and just got last place at nationals. How can I serve him? How can I get more creative? Working, building courses, working with kids one-on-one, now creating the Libero Academy, where more and more athletes can afford one-on-one quality content. Let's see. What do we have? I'm having trouble keeping my hips forward in digging setup because it makes me feel more upright and less mobile. Does anybody have tips on trying to feel low? Yeah, Gavin. So, I mean, I have a feeling you're in the Libero Academy. Watch Wojtaszek. Watch Wojtaszek for the Polish national team video. I think that's you'll see he does the same thing. I have a question on split step. I was wondering if adding that first step before the hop changes everything. Yes, I like. So Tenzin, you definitely missed our webinar last week. That's fine. That's in the Libero Academy. So this is like the approach split step. We use the approach split step to garner a little momentum. You don't want to go too far or jump too high, but just a step. Same thing they use in tennis. Same thing that shortstops use in baseball. What do you do to work on quickness? We're going to do this tomorrow, or sorry, next week. Next webinar, going to give you some drills to work on quickness, also hand-eye coordination. What did you do to be more confidence overall? Hey, you guys gotta everything I've said today. It's understanding the concepts and principles that are so important, right? Independent arms in passing, split step for a faster step rather than a negative step. Like Mason said, arms out on defense, creating space between your arms and your body, knowing that our arms are going to come in. having this clarity brings more confidence and you can get more out of training, right? Let me say that again. More clarity brings more confidence because you're getting that much better each and every single day rather than just showing up in practice and like, I hope I win. I hope I pass well. No, I'm coming to practice. Today I'm going to work on my space. Today I'm going to work on independent arms. Today I'm going to work on my tracking and getting the ball in a sweet spot. Right? All these things, same thing. It's going to be in the academy. It's already in the academy. More clarity, more confidence, so you can take more responsibility, right? If you're an athlete that really wants to push and be your best version, you have to have clear intention in what you're doing going into practice. Is there a video on YouTube that I can find a better understanding of the split step? Yeah, I'm sure there is. There's tons for tennis. You just gotta look. For volleyball, probably not. I haven't found any. For the timing and fixing the negative steps with the split step, what would you recommend? I made a bunch of videos for it. If you guys want, I'll show you the videos I made for it. Let's see. Yeah, guys, I mean, the answer to your questions are inside here. And I know this because all these questions I've gotten for the past 6, 7, 8 years on Instagram. And so I've tried to be very keen and remembering these consistent pain points and creating videos that shows how to do it, right? So timing, right? Timing. We go all into this. Very, 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 very clear video for you to have more confidence in doing this. The distinction, right? We're jumping when the ball's off the hand. So we have that distinction 5 to 8 feet, and we can split before the ball's over the net, right? Everything you guys are asking for, it's there, right? That's why we created this community. For athletes that actually like you want to put in the work, that you want, you need, you desire this clarity, it's there, right? It's there. What I found is if I give out things for free, people actually won't do it. I know this. I have the receipts for the passing course, for the digging course, even for the Libero Academy. People ask me, athletes, maybe even their parents, my daughter will do everything. All right, here's a code for the Libero Academy. Check it out. And I go back 2 weeks later, they didn't use it, right? So when you put the money down, you're going to do the work, right? It's an investment. You're going to have that return on investment the more money you put down. Because the more money you put down, the more likely you're going to do the work because you feel like you're losing something. So you're going to do the work, right? How to play better defense when the block is bad. You just got to get clear. You got to use the block, right? So boom, use the block to find that empty space. So let's see. Last call for the one-on-one. Let's see. We got Stanislav is in. Jeremy is in. Ashley's in. Welcome. Let's go. Libero Academy. Welcome inside. Love it. So pumped. Let's see. One more call to action. I'll pause this. One more call to action for anyone else on the edge. This is it, right? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want in your journey in this sport? Do you just want to go by and just hope it works out? Maybe it works out. Maybe I go to the school I want. Maybe I get recruited. No, you want that clarity. You want that intention. So every day you can commit to being the best version you can be with full confidence, right? With absolute full confidence. So here it is one more time. Use the promo code SCOOP, $100 off. The next 5-10 minutes, I think we got 5-10 minutes left. You'll be entered in to win a one-on-one call with me, and you're in. You're in for the next 12 master classes. Let's go. You're going to work with me. You're going to work with this community, send video back and forth, work together, opportunity to work one-on-one. You already have 3 courses that are inside. The conversations with Mason, the conversations of Zoe, with Lexi, the NCAA Vegas camp is in there. The NCAA men's Anaheim camp is coming soon. We just had to get subtitles in. Subtitles were very bad. So second draft, everything you guys want, desire, have thought of, everything is in there that has helped me learn, right? The concepts, principles, drills, and other athletes doing it. So you don't just take my word for it. You can see them doing it, using the split step, using the scoop, right? So a couple more questions. Today I was playing libero, and if the server was right, I was moving and calling and receive to the right, and reversely the server was on the left side. Stick to one side. If the server was on the left side of the midline and outside here said we should always stick to the one side. There's no right and wrong. All right. Again, you're going to see on the Libero Academy when guys get aces, what happened. There's a lot of stuff in the seams. So I like going behind every time in the seam. Go behind. Go behind. Maybe you can have a left or right seam, but Libero goes behind because there's always going to be seam aces. I was in another team and used to change depending on the serving side. Yeah, it's usually how it is, right? You want to play the angles. So cool. One last chat. Let's see. Checking the email. Griffin's in. Tamara's in. Michael's in. Boom. All right. Last call. Let's see. Who else is ready to come in? Go all in, right? Go all in. Next 12 months. Work with us. Get the complete clarity. Don't leave it to chance. Don't leave your greatness to chance, right? Again, I'm so passionate about this because I was just average. I was so average. No youth national team, no junior national team, but I was just resilient in my failure, and I was lucky. I had great mentors and great coaches at Long Beach State. Not everyone has this, right? So that's what I'm trying to provide. That's what I want to provide for you to be the best version you can be day after day, coming back to the Libero Academy, getting clear on the passing and defensive concepts, coming to the masterclass each and every month, asking questions, getting even clear, and having the drills. You don't have to rely on your coach. You don't have to rely on the club that you're playing for. You can take responsibility, right? And that's the last thing I'll leave you with. Just taking responsibility for your journey. The more you invest, the more it's going to come back on that return on investment. So invest, take responsibility, hold yourself accountable. You can do it too. I hope you guys join. Use the code SCOOP. Come on in and work with us for the next 12 months. The community is growing. It's very exciting. A lot more perks are coming soon, especially in the next month. So I hope you guys join. I hope you guys find the clarity and the confidence that you guys so much desire, especially this technical confidence that you guys spoke about on the poll earlier today. So just very excited to be in front of you. Thank you guys for showing up. And I'm going to send you guys also, let me see. I'm going to send you guys a couple links. This Mason dig, where you guys can see how we trained it in Vegas. So you guys don't have to buy the Libero Academy. You guys can see a little bit how we did it. This is 3 minutes of the 90 minutes we have in the Libero Academy. So you can just see what we have inside. Complete transparency of what's inside the academy, so you guys can have that full confidence committing to your best self and investing in. So appreciate you guys. I hope you guys learned a lot today, and I hope this is just the beginning for you going all in. So let's go. Check out the Mason dig, and then one last time, Libero Academy, use the code SCOOP and go all in. Go all in on your belief of your best version. All right, let's do it. Appreciate you guys. Lots of love from Poland. Have the best day ever. And I'll leave up the code for another 15 minutes. Anyone that gets in is entered to win a one-on-one with me. I think there's about 15 people in right now, so pretty freaking good odds to win a call with me. So appreciate you guys. Use the code SCOOP, get $100 off, and hope to see you at the next masterclass a week from now.